Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Man, I was hitting my scene buttons all over the place. I picked the wrong scene. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a good day today. Happy Thursday. We've had a pretty volatile week. We've had a pretty volatile couple weeks. Technically, you know, we are still in a bull market, bull trend in the macro, but in the short term, we definitely have went into some bearish territory. We've definitely gone into a little mini bear market. You know, Bitcoin did top, here locally at $126,000, and we have gone down now 35-40%. ETH has gone down from that, breaking that all-time high, down 40%. And things in that instance, in that regard, look like crap. But if you're looking at the macro, you're looking long term, you're a little bit more forward thinking, then you are like super bullish. You are like perma bullish right now, even though we are in extreme fear. Fear and greed index historical data chart from 2011 to 2025 shows that we are back in the extreme fear portions of where we were in the pre-bull market of 2021. And then also going into the areas of extreme fear close to where we were in the FTX crash of 2022. And then we've basically have gotten down to the lowest point that we have gotten to since January, February, March and April, after the Trump pump and dump, I guess you could say, with the tariffs, with the geopolitical stuff, you just go across the board. There's so much stuff that's happened that is attributed to what is now being called the broken 4-year cycle, and also calling it the super cycle of stable coins, altcoins, and the overall market in general. So we are in extreme fear right now, massive extreme fear in the stock market. People think that the AI bubble is going to pop now, and that it's going to take a 2, 3, 4-year recovery, and that is going to represent in the altcoins as well. I think that is a little bogus to think that we're just going to keep continuing to go into extreme fear and stay in extreme fear for 2 years. That's just insane. It's just insane to think about all the stuff that we're going through right now in terms of regulatory clarity, in terms of no more Operation Choke Point in crypto. We're in a good spot. So it doesn't make any sense to be selling everything right now or being super bearish. You have to flip the script. You got to flip it, reverse it in your brain, that when it is red and in extreme fear, you need to turn this card into green. You need to turn it into green and know that you have to flip the psychology, reverse it, spin it on its head, DDT it, people's elbow, that extreme fear. And that's how we are going to make a lot of money going into the endings of the bull run. Because guess what, guys? The biggest run isn't in the beginning. It isn't in the middle. It's at the end. And all through the beginning and the middle, you're going to have 30% downturns, 40% downturns, 50% downturns, and you're going to think it's over. And we're here to tell you that it's not. It's not over. If you look at the charts historically, even in the 4-year cycles where we know now that is broken, that it's done this. So it's a good time. It's a good time right now. It's looking good. Looks good here. Send it. That's where we're at right now. But make sure you guys are smashing up that like button. Really appreciate it. I know we don't normally stream at this time, so we have no idea how many people are going to show up. So let's see. I have no idea. I don't know. But let's see. Jason Casper just replied. He said, yeah, I know. So he said, I sold Bitcoin at 120. I'm so glad I sold 120, not buying until 70K. I said, but if it's going to 1 million per coin, why does it matter? And he said, because I wanted to buy a house and build a barn and get a new tractor, I also wanted to expand my homestead to have bigger gardens, and I wanted to do all this without being in debt. I also didn't want to wait until Bitcoin was at 1 million to do all this. And that is a good answer. It's a very, very good answer, because everyone has their reasons why they are going to, quote, sell their assets. Because let's be honest, Jason Casper's been buying Bitcoin since it was like $10,000. So he can stand to sell some Bitcoin. He can sell a corn or two. He can actually sell a corn. See, everyone's crypto journey is very much relative to when they started buying, what they're buying, how they bought, and what their actual plan is and strategy and what their goal is, because his goal is to be completely self-sufficient and homestead, Mr. Jason Casper. So he's got a good mission. So whenever he feels like any of his crypto and the things that he's doing can benefit and upgrade that portion of his life, he's going to do it. And so I'm actually wanting to do the same, but I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. But we're definitely on that same track in our mind, Mr. Jason Casper, about getting to that point. So, but we're in accumulation mode right now. So, but make sure you guys are checking out all the links in the description. Really appreciate it. But the topic of discussion is for today, real quick. You know, it's just gonna be a quick live stream. We released a video this morning, a quick video documenting the conversation that happened at the Saudi Investment Forum, the U.S. and Saudi Investment Forum. So if you guys aren't following the news and you're under a rock, you need to know that the Saudis have now invested not 600 billion, but 1 trillion. 1 trillion into US and AI infrastructure and deals and chips to be able to be sold to the Saudis through NVIDIA. And these are specific chips. These are not chips that China and any of these other countries are going to be able to get access to. And that's the key here. So this is what is happening. Massive infrastructure in investment on both sides through the Saudis. We've always needed the Saudis. That's the thing with the US, is that if we didn't have the Saudi money, US would be not the US. Let's just be honest now. They have a lot of money. And so this is very, very important in terms of the US being able to actually to survive. But the way that I think about it is everyone thinks that this AI and NVIDIA and all these companies, that it's a massive bubble. It's going to pop all their figures for forward outlooks on projections of profit and earnings. Everyone's like, that is insane. There's no way that you're going to earn that much. But you got to think about it in this way. When these companies scale back, like Walmart or Google or whoever, and everyone was looking at what Walmart's and NVIDIA's earnings were going to be, guess what ends up happening? Even though they're getting rid of people, guess what? That's people that they don't have to pay. And then they're upgrading their infrastructures to be able to handle more throughput. So then their earnings actually look better, even though back in the day when companies were cutting employees, it meant that they were hurting. And they were losing money, or they were going to have to lay off a bunch of people because it wasn't looking good, because we were in, quote, a recession and things were just looking terrible. So now it's actually the other way around. They're getting more efficient. They're investing in AI. They might even be setting up crypto treasuries and laying off people and making more money. So this whole thing about people, it's just like the early 2000s internet. No, it's not. It's completely different. It's actually different. We know more now. Back then we didn't know anything. We were kind of naive and didn't really know too much. And we were testing out the new industry. Now it's like we've had 25 years to learn a lot of different lessons. And it seems like these companies are starting to eye in and zero in on what is going to, quote, fix all of the problems that came in through building the infrastructure the past 25 years. What is it? AI and energy. Autonomous energy and data. This is what everyone now is focusing on. How do we protect it? How do we make it more efficient? How do we make it run everything? And so if this is a bubble, pretty damn big bubble, pretty damn big one that I don't know how much, like, can it get bigger? Probably. And so I think people are underestimating the power of AI, the power of NVIDIA, the power of the Saudis, power of Elon with Tesla getting the Optimus robots in every single home. What's powering that? The AI. Then what's also powering all of the things that could be transacting in the background? Well, that's blockchain. That's blockchain code. You can't run AI and run the throughput without having the blockchain. So let's listen to what Elon actually said.
in is like yen bank. And between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. Growing vegetables, or you could you playing sports or video. So for me, that's long term. Because maybe it's, if you say like in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So.
We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. Now, between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. Mm-hmm. I always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money is doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Now, there will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints, but I think at some point currency becomes irrelevant.
Jensen, any thoughts?
By the way,
he's like, he's like, can you let me know when that happens, Elon? It's so funny. He's like, oh, your quarter earnings are tonight.
Video earnings call is later today.
And by the way, since currency is relevant.
Cheers.
Elon just wants to share with you some breaking news.
It's so funny.
The two of us would like to share some breaking news. Let's see. I would say there's different horizons you could look at.
So without playing the whole video, and Jensen goes into how, well, there's going to be jobs lost, but then also AI kind of does something interesting to other sectors where in the radiology sector, they actually are going to, it's actually increasing the hiring on people being able to get radiology done, and there more observations can be made because of the technology of AI. So there's like, so in that sector, it actually can create more jobs and more demand for people getting into radiology. And so it kind of can have an opposite effect on certain sectors where instead of it being like, oh my gosh, like for instance, in the terms of Amazon and the factories, they're replacing pretty much, like there's only going to be a very select few of people that are going to work in the factories to just basically make sure the robots like aren't tripping over each other. but then everything else is going to be completely done by robots, and there's going to be no physical actual workers that are in the factory. So those jobs are gone. But then in another sector where like, for instance, this radiology, then it's creating jobs. So it's really interesting. I wonder when it's going to equal out, and there will be kind of like a sector of jobs. A lot of people in those have to figure out something different. And then, and then you start to things get revealed of what you could potentially look towards as a means of income and, different sector that you might have to start looking into getting into if you want to be able to get hired. And maybe you're close to that sector and you are thinking, oh my gosh, like what should I do? Hey, maybe, I don't know, get into radiology. I'd rather invest. That's the thing. I'd rather build the capital and start investing and do what rich people do. They make their money work for them, and then they don't have to work anymore. That's what we're trying to do. So, all right, well, guys, make sure you hit the like button real quick. We're just we're gonna cover the couple coins. We are gonna end the live stream literally in 5 minutes because we have a appointment to get to. We do want to document though that yesterday, Morad, the famous Morad, went on Thread Guy's live stream and was of course shilling SPX 6900. That is his baby, And of course, though, Morad has a list, and I think Morad just like is kind of trapped by SPX 6900, and he probably would like to promote ticker Bitcoin a little bit more, but then it would take away from the fact that SPX 6900 is what he has chosen as like the thing. And I kind of have this thought that he would much rather, shill the Sprotos super hard and ticker Bitcoin, but he's like, I have to do it for the culture and the movement. But we respect it, though. We 100% respect it. But on the show, he challenged Thread Guy to port 10K into SPX 6900, and he would forever support his media career for its existence and just have ultimate respect for him. And he was like, all right, that's the number. So he did it, but then it's funny, we checked the wallet again, and he put $48 into a Apu Apostasia. So it's funny, I wonder if this wallet is just going to start building up into just, solid Ethereum meme coins. He's going to get SPX 6900, he's going to get Apu, he'll get Pepe, he'll get some ticker Bitcoin, he'll get some Wojak. So this wallet might be a pretty based wallet. So shout out to Thread Guy. And then another thing we wanted to point out is that, man, this freaking Fed rate cut for December is becoming such an divisive thing here. It was that we were sure we were gonna get 25 basis points. Now it's 63% chance that we're gonna get a no change on this thing. Oh, so I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out, because what happened before, if you remember, the last meeting that we had, we traded and rallied into the FOMC meeting. And then after the FOMC meeting, in the notes and the FOMC notes and the press conference afterwards, we dumped. So we traded into it and then we dumped. I wonder what is going to happen to this one, because we have the meeting coming up December 10th. It's in 20 days. And I wonder if we could be going down into the meeting, because it kind of looks like that's what we were doing. Like we were just kind of trading down into bearish territory on this news. Or do we do the same thing? We rally into, we find a bottom and we start to rally going into the meeting. It's going to be a little tricky. There's a lot of people that are calling for 77,000 Bitcoin. I have the line in the sand here as well. I've been kind of looking at that at that too, to be honest. And there's another low liquidity. So we've been breaking order blocks. If you're wondering how we predicted Bitcoin going into this particular area, like how the heck did we know and circle that this thing was going to go right there? Is because the Lux Algo order block has revealed on the 4-hour a spot of liquidity where whales and limit orders were hitting. And also this lines up with the liquidations with the exchanges of max leverage on 20, 50, 100x leverage trades. And that's where the market gave us some true max pain. We thought this was the max pain 98 under 100K. Now 89 was the next max pain. There could be another drawdown right here to get us another 10% to really scare the shit out of everyone and bring us to 81K. And then you can see a big order block right above 76. But if you remember, this was the point and of support. This all was support here to get us to all-time highs, okay? This support level gave us all-time highs, and we rallied from that bottom up 63%. Actually, we went up 67% to 126. So it doesn't even matter. Like if we still go to this level that we're calling right here as support, we go down another 10%. That would just mean from 126, we only went down 35%. Oh my gosh, we went down 35%. Big freaking deal. Oh, if we go down to 76, oh no, 39%. Who cares? At that point, that is par for the course. And that is exactly what needs to happen. I don't even care. Because if you can go up to 110 and then get this drawdown like this, 110, and then get a 30% drawdown right here to 74,000, and then from there smack up to all-time highs, what makes you think it's not going to do it here? You would say, oh, because it's the bear market, sir. Okay. You give me all of this stuff that I've been giving you for the past few months of the bullishness and the setup that we're going into for the next 4 years, and you tell me how you can be bearish. I don't know. Maybe because you're still believing in the 4-year cycle. Maybe you still think crypto is a beanie baby. Maybe you still think institutions don't understand it, but we hope that changes. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.